Welcome to point number 3. It's the word lift. How many of you wake up each morning and their first thought is, where's the coffee pot? Or how many of you ever found yourself wishing that Americans had siestas too? Having balanced energy is a necessity in our life. Think about that for a sec. When you're tired, don't you tend to feel more depressed or less likely to do anything? So something simple like focusing on work when you're at work so you can have energy for your family when you get home, or making a commitment to consistently walk 3 days a week can be hard. When we're tired, everything is hard. What do kids have a lot of? Energy, right? Can you think back to the energy that you had when you were a kid? Think about what it would look like if you had that energy level now. If I were to ask if you wanted to go for a 5-mile hike with me right now, my guess is you would consider your energy level, and then you would come up with a creative way to say that I'm crazy, or maybe you would just point blank tell me I was crazy. But if I asked a group of kids that same question, they'd be halfway out the door before I could even finish the question. Why is that? It's because the kids' energy levels are balanced, and they don't ever stop to think how tired they are ever. When your energy levels are balanced, this is what happens. Ask a tired mom to go for a walk but if you ask her kids to go, see the difference? Here's an interesting tidbit that I recently learned from an article I read. Your energy level is directly affected to how balanced your hormones are. I really had no idea that energy and hormones were related. I'm going to take a second now and share a little bit about my personal experience with energy, and this may sound a bit weird, but you should also know that talking about this is harder than talking about my mom's death because it's much more personal for me. My lack of energy was evident in my lack of sex drive after having the kids. Let me just be real with you for a sec. I can vividly remember sitting at work, sexting my husband before we had kids, wishing the day would go faster. So naturally, here comes baby number 1, followed again by baby number 2. But when I returned back to work after having 2 kids back to back, sex was literally the last thing on my mind. I was tired, I was unfocused, I had big mental rocks of thinking that something was wrong with me because I had zero interest in sex anymore. I literally spent 10 years with this ridiculous mental rock. But once I connected that my lack of sex drive was related to my energy levels being out of balance, and I fixed that, well then, boom, boom, boom. I was looking forward to my husband coming home every day. And on a serious note, I clearly remember the moment when I realized that I wasn't broken anymore, and I felt like me again. Not only was this a powerful moment for me, but it had a huge positive impact on my marriage as well. So maybe you're a slave to the coffee pot, or you have your own mental rock in your head. Take a minute or two now and go back to your workbooks and answer the lift questions.